In just a few minutes, I will teach you 3 visual storytelling techniques that I've learned in the past 6 years so that you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. In this video, I'll show you my example storytelling video and teach you how you can use the same techniques to make better videos even if you're a beginner. Love you, honey. The first simple trick is to start your video with a close-up. When you use close-ups in the opening shot, the viewer doesn't get all the information right away. And the lack of information creates curiosity in the viewer's mind. This is especially important on YouTube because you have to be able to hook the viewer immediately to make them want to watch the whole video. Another benefit of using close-ups is that close-ups often communicate that something is important to the story in some way. But don't use only close-ups because that will feel very weird. Shoot at least one wide establishing shot to give the audience a sense of the location. This next one is one of the most important techniques when it comes to creating an interesting story for your video, and that's hold the answer. Don't give too much information to your viewer too soon, because that will fail to raise questions in the mind of your viewer. And like my friend Alex Alman said, questions are like bridges that carry your viewer's interest from one scene to another. Introduce the mystery and hold the answer as long as you can. This way, you'll be able to keep the viewer watching until they find out the answer. Also, to keep your audience interested, every time you reveal something, you need to introduce a new question. For example, after revealing that the character was actually waiting for his wife to go to work and leave the house, and that he was hiding something inside the ceiling, which raised a new question. What is he hiding inside the ceiling? For example, in the shot where the character finds a note inside the chocolate box, instead of revealing what the note actually said, I deliberately delayed the answer to build tension and anticipation in the audience. In order to have a good rhythm and pacing to your story, cut to the action. By cutting to the action, you'll make sure that there's no empty spots, and therefore the story is constantly moving forward. This also helps to cut out all the unnecessary parts, and therefore you'll be able to make sure that you're preventing the viewer from getting bored. Another thing about the rhythm and pacing of the story is fast cuts and long cuts. Long cuts mean that the shot is very important to the story, and a fast cut, it's not so important to the story. For example, the shots where I'm opening the hats of the ceiling, it's not a crucial part of the story, but it's something that the viewer needs to know in order for the whole story to make sense. The thing is, if every shot is a long cut, it only confuses the viewer because they don't anymore know which part of the story is something they should really pay attention to and is important and which isn't. If you want to learn more about solo videography and get better at it, I highly recommend watching this video somewhere here.